So if you didn't make the last call, the first call, the concept of these Monday motivation calls are basically just to shed some light on positivity, on motivation that we can share with one another, with our families, everything. You know, you really don't have to be a part of the company to be on this call. This call is just going to be to uplift you and help you go throughout your life. So if there's anything that you guys want to talk about on these calls, go ahead and shoot me a text, and we can actually go ahead and talk about everything, anything that you guys want to talk about. And for the last call, we went ahead and talked about popping the lid off your jar, guys. If you weren't on the call last time, the example that I gave about popping the lid off your jar is actually being able to have the capability to not be confined to the standards of what other people are trying to tell you. You know, some people tell you you're not good enough, you're not fast enough, you're not strong enough. I want to show you that you have the capability to actually pop the top off of that lid and actually grow and do better in all aspects of your life, guys. And everything you do, you got to understand that you are meant for greatness. You know, and the story that I went ahead and shared with everybody a couple of weeks ago is, say you have a jar, and in that jar, or a bottle of water, whatever, in that jar you have a flea. The flea's going to jump just high enough to where it touches the top of the lid. You know, it's going to stay into its comfort zone, and it's not going to hit the lid. So you have a baby flea in that same place, and the baby flea is going to try to pop the top right off of that lid. You see, so it was born with the capability to do more than what people are expecting it to do. You know, it's not being defined by people's negativity and everything. When you were born, when the flea was born, it was born to soar. You know, it was born to do the greatest things of life. You know, and for today's call, I want to go ahead and transition from talking about being the flea in the jar and popping the top off, to actually being able to take that and put it all into action, guys. And of course, you have your top steps, and then your top steps are broken down into smaller steps. So the two steps that I want to go ahead and start off with today, and in the future, we'll go ahead and break those down into further smaller steps. But the first step that I want to go ahead and talk about today of opening the lid off your jar is actually believing in yourself, guys. Believing in yourself, telling yourself that you're capable and that you do deserve it. You know, a lot of the times when we talk to people, or when people just talk to us, you know, they hear about our dreams and automatically, whoa, your dreams are too big. You know, your dreams are too big. Slow your roll. You need to drop some of the dreams right here, because, you know, a lot of the times people are scared of what they can't have. You know, so they isolate themselves, they isolate other people, and that's what creates a society that we live in. You know, everybody's living off of fear, and nobody really wants to grow because nobody believes in themselves. Nobody believes in themselves anymore. So I want you to use these cards to actually believe in yourself. To know that you're able to do anything and everything you set your mind to. You know, all it takes is that one step, and with that one step that you guys actually use to believe in yourself, you can totally accomplish happiness, guys. Imagine what you could accomplish if every sentence that you started with an I can instead of an I can't, you know, or I will, or instead of I'll try, you know, because when you say I try, you're basically already setting yourself up for failure. You know, if you tell yourself you can do something, it makes it a little easier. So one thing about this call, guys, the one thing about this call is I want to be humble, open, and transparent with you guys. So everything that I share on these calls are going to go ahead and be facts. They're going to be stories and parts of my life. And right now, this is just a little, you know, like a little something. But, you know, it's a story that actually, you know, kind of teaches you, you know. So I was playing beer pong last night, and, you know, I tell my boy, hey, make that cup, and I'll make the same cup. You see, it's something so little as that, but when you actually set your mind to something, you know, you're able to achieve it. You know, I didn't think, oh, okay, I'm going to try to make that cup. I told myself from the very beginning, if you make it, I'll make it. If he can do it, I can do it. If she can, why can't I? You know, it doesn't matter for what part of life this is going towards. It should go towards all aspects of your life. You know, you should sit there and tell yourself you can do anything. You know, if you want to walk that 4 mile walk with your legs messed up, you can do that walk. You know, if you want to grow that business and people are telling you you can actually grow that business. You know, you gotta stop letting people's voice go in your head and come out with just a bunch of negativity and a bunch of stuff that's blocking you from reaching your true potential, guys. You know, you really gotta believe in yourself. You know, that's step one. Step one, you really gotta believe in yourself, and not just believing in your mind, you know, but believing in your heart. There was times in my life where I was actually in and out of jail. People didn't know where I was at. You know, things in life that I really didn't want to be going through. And I had to let myself know deep down in my heart that it was going to get better. You know, because if I told myself just in my mind, it's going to be okay, I'm going to blow it off. Well, that's not going to happen. You know, my head's not all there. I'm looking at 35 years in prison. I'm wrapped up in drugs. It's not possible for you to sit there and tell yourself that things are going to get better when you're only telling your mind. You know, you have to really want it in your heart. You got to tell your heart that this is something that you want. Because once you tell your heart this is something that you want, you're like a train, guys. You're like a train. You're unstoppable. And that's one thing that I want to go ahead and share with you guys. So the second step towards that, the second step, aside from believing, is actually putting that foot in action. You know, taking that next step, taking that leap of faith. Like I said before, the parachute does not work unless it's open. So you have to actually take that step and jump. You know, that's the scariest part. And we're going to go ahead and take that step of, you know, actually taking that leap. And we're going to go ahead and break that into smaller steps throughout the weeks and everything. But right now, I really just want you to focus on making that leap. You know, how hard it is to want to make that leap. You got to know and you got to believe, like I'm saying, you got to believe that you can do it. You know, when a dude parachutes or skydives, you know, he doesn't already see failure. You know, he doesn't jump thinking he's going to fail. He jumps already knowing down in his mind, down in his heart, that as soon as he jumps, that parachute is going to open. You see, that's the only way it's going to work. You see, he can't be standing on land or standing in the airplane and be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to die right here. No, like he has faith. He has faith in everything that he has set out for, even if it's by himself, even if he's got a partner behind him because he's in the beginning. Like, you know from the very beginning that parachute is going to open. You know, there's parachutes going to open. There, of course, there's been times where it doesn't open. Shit happens. But the only way it works is if you jump, guys. The only way it works is if you jump. You know, we tend to get comfortable. We tend to get comfortable with what people try to tell us. You know, you can't do this, you can't do that. So it makes it harder for us to jump, guys. You know, it makes it harder for us to jump because we're already planning on failing before we even got the chance to start. You know, people are missing their way in life right now. Right now, people are missing their way in life because they're afraid to sign the lease on their gift. You see, I was talking about last call. Everybody has a gift, guys. Everybody has a gift, whether it's talking to people, whether it's sharing your story, or just being compassionate, guys. If somebody tells you, you know, oh, you're a good listener and this, maybe that's your gift. Maybe you were given the gift of listening. And other people sometimes may have the same gift as you, but they don't have the story you do. You know, everybody has different stories. Everybody has different blessings. And yeah, there's a lot of motivational speakers out there. There's a lot of people doing Motivation Mondays. But the thing that makes mine different, the thing that makes his different, or Gary Vaynerchuk's different, or everything, is we each have our own personal story, you know, and your own personal stories, which you can go ahead and use to create a new blessing for other people. Other people haven't seen blessings through the lives of what these people have gone through. A lot of people haven't seen blessings like Oprah or whatever, you know, but maybe the story that I share with you, maybe the story that one day DJ or Brianna or West share with you or anything, maybe one of these days, one of those stories, one of our stories is going to be the testimony that you need, the testimony that somebody needs to hear to actually grow and to succeed and to actually want to do better, but it's up to you to actually take that next step, or not even take that next step, but get off where you're sitting right now. Maybe you're in pain right now. Maybe you're going through a situation right now and you need to get off of it, but you're just not in that much pain, guys. So there's a quick story that I want to share with you guys. It's not going to make sense at first, probably not at face value, but if you really sit back and listen to this little story that I'm going to go ahead and share with you, and you really think about the message, it's going to be very powerful, guys. So the story basically, real quick, guys, is there's two old men sitting on the porch. Okay, these two old men are sitting on the porch, and next to one of their old men is a dog, and the dog's sitting there and he's crying and he's crying. And the old man tells him, "Yo, why is your dog crying?" So he tells him, "Yo, my dog's crying because he's sitting on a nail." He's just like, "Okay, well, why doesn't he get off the nail?" And the man just tells him he doesn't get off the nail because it doesn't hurt him that much. You see right there at face value, this story really didn't seem to mean much. But if you really open up your eyes and think about the message to this story, you guys have to understand that right now, that's what a lot of us are going through in life. A lot of us are afraid to take that jump. A lot of us right now are sitting on a nail. We're sitting in an in an uncomfortable position right now where we're afraid to take initiative. We're afraid to take that next step, and we're in pain right now, guys. We're in pain, but we are still scared of taking that next step. This is when you need to actually be like the dog and hop off the nail. You see, so when it comes to it, at the end of the day, there were times in my life where going in and out of jail, that I really just want to be humble, open, and transparent with you guys. And, being sitting in that cell asking, DJ wanted to touch a little on that, so we're going to go ahead and let him jump in real quick.
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly fine, man.
Awesome. No, I just wanted to touch on that, man. That's actually a perfect analogy because it's actually big facts. There's actually tons of people. Actually, let me get my thoughts together. Here we go. So it's just like, I always tell people you can't get to the next level unless you're willing to inconvenience yourself, a little bit more. But it's also about the fact that people will be hurting, but they're just not hurting enough to do anything to change that situation. So honestly, your nail story nailed it. And that's like perfect because that's exactly what's happening here right now. There's certainly people that are not ready or maybe not have the resources, but I feel like there's definitely a lot more people that have, again, that are, feeling uncomfortable. They have these ailments, they're living paycheck to paycheck. They have goals and dreams that they're not like pursuing at any capacity. And it's mainly just because they're not uncomfortable enough to even go and, to move their situation, to get off of that, to get out of that uncomfortable place. And that's exactly what it is. You're not uncomfortable enough to want to move to the next level. And that was perfect. It was very well put together. I got that right off the top.
Sick, bro. I'm glad you were able to share. That's cool, man. Like, that's what these calls are for. I really want people to step up out of their comfort zone. And if they have something to say on these calls, unmute yourself, let me know, shoot me a text, and we can get you on this call also, guys. So DJ, hey, thank you, man. I really appreciate for putting in your input. I really appreciate that. That shows me that this call is really growing as a whole. And I just really hope we can get more people on this to share the message and the blessings, guys. So keeping on with the message, like I said, I want to remain hot with you guys, humble, open, and transparent, like Michael Todd says, and for the longest time, I had always told myself that, it was never going to change, why and when or how things were going to change. I'd been in a drug situation for a while to where I'd be high, sitting in my car, crying my ass off, asking myself, why am I doing this? Why am I high right now? Why did I go pick up some more stuff or whatever? telling myself, why am I doing this? Knowing that I don't want to do it, but still doing it anyways. You see, I was sitting on that nail, and even though it hurt me, even though I didn't want to be doing drugs, it wasn't hurting me enough, you know? So the point that I'm trying to make with you guys, you know, the point that I'm trying to make with you guys, I want you guys to write this down. I want you guys to really write this down, because this really helped me throughout all aspects of my life in general. You know, it really helped me find a foundation to where I can actually, you know, grow from. You know, because once you know pain, and you know that you can take that next step and get out of it, that's where the most growth comes in. So the next point that I want to make, guys, which I want you to write down, is until the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change, you will never change. Okay, I think I said it wrong the first time, but until the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change, you will never change. You see, I was in and out of the drugs here and there, you know, and it hurt me, but it didn't hurt me that bad. You know, it hurt me, but being the same, you know, staying in the drugs and this, it didn't hurt me as much as it would be to getting fresh, starting new, stopping the drugs, moving to a new city, whatever. You know, you really have to sit there and take accountability of all the actions you're putting in your life, and use that as a slingshot to actually push you towards your goals. Because I could be in pain all day. I'm telling you right now, apparently through all the struggles that we've all endured in life, I know it's not just my story. I know personally that my man DJ here has gone through a lot, and I'm so blessed to be working with him, and I'm so blessed to see everything that we've come out from, you know, everything that we've done in life, from where we've been, you know, sleeping at restaurants overnight, crazy lives, being homeless, guys. Like, it was so amazing. I don't mean to put our lives out there like that, DJ. I'm sorry. I just really want to share with people.
No, man, that's
that
facts. That's facts.
that you can actually sit there and come from nothing, guys. You can come from nothing, and it doesn't matter if you're not nothing right now. You've grown. You know, we're not homeless no more. You know, look at that roof on this head. You know, it's something that we've been able to come up from. And all it took was actually taking the initiative, taking that next step, and knowing deep down in your heart that nothing was going to change unless you changed. You know, when it came into the business, I knew it worked. I knew companies worked. I knew network marketing worked. I knew motivational speaking worked. But the thing about it is, even though I knew it worked, it didn't work unless I actually took the steps and took the actions into doing it, you know, and that was all on me. You know, I couldn't sit here and blame somebody else for not making this YouTube channel. I couldn't blame somebody else for not putting $1 in my pocket. You know, I couldn't blame someone else for sitting here and telling me that I am one of the greatest out there, you know, that I will make it, that I will make things happen. You know, that has to be instilled upon you. You have to put it into yourself. You have to believe in yourself. That was step one, guys. You know, you really have to believe in yourself if you really want to take that next step and hop up off the nail, guys. So I'm saying one more time, until the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change, you will never change. Okay, so if you really want to change, you guys need to hop up off this nail, you know, and once you actually decide to hop off the nail, it makes everything so much easier, guys. Because as of this moment, I had little thoughts of starting a YouTube channel, of doing what we're doing right now. You know, me personally, one of my biggest fears is actually speaking publicly on these Zoom calls, whatever, just speaking to people, a lot of people in general. You know, I was afraid to take that leap of faith. I was afraid to take that opportunity, you know, but, you know, I told myself, you know, the only thing that's going to make this happen is myself. And luckily by the grace of God, you know, I was able to have the opportunity to share my story, you know, and when I had the opportunity to share my story, that's when I was able to be like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna hop up off this nail and we're gonna go ahead and do it. We're gonna take action, we're gonna do it. And I was able to get the opportunity to speak. You know, I was finally able to have the ability to stand in front of a stage and share my story, my personal story with as many people as I could, you know. So knowing that I was put in that position, you know, the fear kind of went away and I was like, oh man, you know, I can do this. Maybe I really can do this, you know. But like always, you know, the fear and the negativity, it always creeps back, guys. It always creeps back. That's why if you're if you're that flea in that jar, you really got to keep hitting uncomfortability. You know, you got to start getting uncomfortable, keep hitting the top of that lid till you're actually able to twist it and pop it off. You know, because the fear is going to come back, guys. The fear is going to come back. The fear never stops. What you have to do is you actually have to tell yourself that you're worth it, you know. Because I was ready to get on stage the next week, fear was gone. It ended up coming back right before I went up on stage, like it usually always does, you know. But when it came back this next time, that's when I really had to sit there and tell myself that everything was going to be great, you know, everything was going to be good. And it's funny because I'd sit there and I'd be like, yo, God, like if you put this in my heart and you really want me to share my story, like I know you're going to work through me. I know you're going to work through me. I'm so scared, but this is going to flow because I took this step. You gave me the steps to take. You told me what you wanted me to do, and I took it. And I took it. So the blessings are going to start coming along, guys. You know, if there's something in your mind, if you want to start writing a book, you know, if you want to start your own YouTube channel, the fact that you actually got there and took it into action it's gonna bring on so many blessings, guys. If you do something for good, good will come out of it, guys. All these blessings will come out of it. So do something. Try starting something new, guys. Try writing a book, whatever, and something you're afraid of, you know, something you've always wanted to do. Try it, and as soon as you take that step and you start going, ideas are gonna start flowing. Your mind's gonna start wondering. Your motivation's gonna start boosting, guys. It just takes that step, and blessings are just gonna open. But it takes that step. It truly takes that step. You have to believe in yourself, and then you have to take that step, guys. So like I was saying, the fear came back. So I basically just want to challenge you guys to just fight it. You know, when you stay motivated on these Monday calls or throughout the week, and there comes a point where you start doubting yourself or you start slowing down in business or you think you're slowing down in business, remind yourself your why. Remind yourself that you are going to make this happen, that you are capable, that you are blessed, and you do have a family around you that's actually willing to grow with you guys. You know, everybody's willing to grow with you. And of course, there are days where you're discouraged and you're down, but those are the days that matter the most, guys. Because if you notice that they're the days where things go the worst, things are so bad, it's the worst day of your life, but you wake up the next morning or you actually get through it, and 10 minutes later you're there and you're just like, holy crap, I got through this. You know, I never thought I was going to get past this moment. I never thought I was going to be able to do this. You may have a kid on the way and you're tripping out and you're just like, I've never been a father before. How am I going to do this? You know, and you take that step and you be the best father that you can. And later on in life, you're watching your kids grow up and you're just like, holy crap, I did it. You know, I made this happen. You know, I'm raising this kid. You know, you have the capability. You actually just have to get rid of the discouragement that you're putting in yourself. You know, get rid of the negativity and turn it into blessings. Last call, we were actually talking about
I wanted to
resurrection.
just add to that. You know, I got
What's up, bro? Add it up. Add it up.
I got a famous quote. Nah, it's almost going to be famous, but guys, I live by embrace the adversity. Embrace the adversity, because when you embrace the adversity, there's always something greater that follows behind it. It's kind of like I know everybody has that distant cousin or that friend that you just like, damn, I don't want to see this person right now. Because every time they come, you know, something happens, something pops off, but then right after they leave, you know, you feel good again. You know, something new has come, or you know, they've opened your eyes up to something. So always embrace the adversity. It's just part of life, and the sooner that you embrace it and, you know, try not to avoid it, the easier you'll break through these barriers and be able to take those next steps.
That's sick, man. You were on point with that, bro. You just gotta take the adversity, bro. It's hard, you know. We've come through it though. You know, we've been through a lot and we've gotten through it, and you know, that's why I'm glad, and I want you guys to share your stories as well. Just for the fact that maybe it's gonna help somebody else grow. You know, sometimes all the bad things that go on in your life, sometimes you have to get past them. Sometimes you have to get rid of the negativity, guys, because at the end of the day, maybe the blessing is not yours. Maybe it's not your blessing for that moment. Maybe somebody, or maybe God, or whoever you believe, maybe they're working through you, and you have to go through this to share the blessing with somebody else. If somebody sees what you're going through and they see what you end up getting out of, maybe that gives them the motivation. Maybe that gives them the boost, you know, to walk out of that toxic relationship, to walk out of that house and start fresh on their own. Maybe the situation you're going through right now is here to bless somebody in your family, not you, but somebody else. You know, you can use all of this, guys. You can use all of this to create a positive look on life in general. You know, because if you think of every situation as a blessing, not just for you, but for other people, and you really try to put love and blessings in your heart to pass out with everybody, when that situation comes where you're hit with negativity or you get some bad news, you're able to transform all of that bad news into, okay, this happened, but fuck it. What's gonna happen next? You know, what's the big move from here? You know, if you're talking to a girl or something and you think she's amazing, you think she's so cool, and she drops you like that, you could get so mad at that moment. You can break down and say, nobody wants to be with me and this and this. But imagine what greater things are out there for you. If you thought this girl was so good and you deserve the best and you know you're meant for better, if you thought this girl was so good, imagine how much greater that other girl is going to be. If you've been in the business for the longest time and you thought it was the best business and you're making so much money and new opportunities come along and you take it, you're just like, holy shit, I didn't think this was possible. You know, I didn't think I was going to make this much money. I didn't know, you know, there's so many situations and you thought you were going to lose your income. You thought this, but there were so many more blessings that came out of it just from some negativity that you were able to transform into blessings or into positivity, you know. So a quick story, guys. Last week, maybe a little more, I was at work and I went to the restroom, right? So I ended up losing my wallet. I lost my wallet with $80 cash in there, all my cards, my IDs. And once I noticed my wallet was missing, I was like, oh man, my wallet's missing, of course, da-da-da-da-da. We ended up finding it in the restroom. The wallet was there. The money was gone. You see, so in that very moment, I could have sat there and I could have been like, hey man, damn, these guys are dicks. That's so messed up. You know, they stole my money. How could they? I needed that. What if they needed it more? You know, truly listen to me when I tell you this, guys. What if they needed it more? They didn't take the wallet. They didn't need the wallet. They needed money. You know, yeah, they're going out to eat, but maybe that was the last time they're going out to eat. You know, I really had to sit there, take inventory upon my life. And okay, this is going to break me out in tears a little bit. One thing that Dominic Jones told me when we were little, you know, going through our own problems in life, he told me not to share this with anybody, but I'm going to go ahead and just share a little quick. He gave the last of his money to pay for this homeless man's food. And the one thing he told me, you know, he told me not to share with you guys, of course, but the one thing that he told me, guys, is I've been broke and I've been homeless, but I've never been hungry. You know, if I can put food in this man's mouth, you know, I'm going to spend the last of my money. to get this guy food. You know, you can be at your deepest, darkest moments, guys. I'm sorry, I'm tearing up right now. You can be at your deepest, darkest moments, guys, and you can look at the positivity, and it's going to shed some light, and it's going to help you grow in so many aspects of your life that you do not understand, guys. You don't understand the situations that where we came from. And I'm not doing this to impress you. I'm doing this to impress upon you the abilities we have and the capabilities that we have to pop the lid off that jar, guys. You know, so in my mind, I'm sitting here thinking, hey, you know what? I lost my money. They took the money. But what if they needed it? What if they needed it? What if $80 is the exact amount that they needed to pay rent, or the exact amount that they needed to get their baby some nutrition? You know, they didn't take the wallet. So I was like, okay, you know what? That's fine. If it blessed them, that's cool. I don't need the money. I can make more. I'm at work right now. It's cool. You see, I didn't use that negative situation to create a negative outlook in my life. I used all of that negativity and I turned it into a positive. And the biggest blessing at that moment came on, guys. The people who helped me throughout this moment right now are not on this call. I want to give a shout out to them, to everybody, you know, who shared this blessing with me at Chatters. You know, so if you guys work with me at Chatters and you guys help me out through this story that I'm teaching, props to you guys, blessings to you 100% all the way. I love you guys. You know, this is why I do this, you know, so instead of thinking all this negativity, I transformed that negativity into a positive outlook on everything. And next thing you know, guys, I'm walking out of the kitchen into the bar, and I've got a handful of servers of to-goes, you know, bussers, sitting around in a circle, putting money together, guys, collecting a pot to make up the money that I had gotten stolen. You know, we're sitting here and we're looking at all the negative things that are happening in life. But that $80 didn't faze me, guys. That $80 didn't faze me. And I'm not telling you this talking like towards like, oh, I have money. No, we're all struggling right now, guys. We're all struggling through each part of our own lives. It wasn't the money, you know, it was the blessings that came from it. You know, $80 was, yeah, okay, I lost $80. But instead of focusing on that one negative thing of somebody taking my money, I would have outlooked the 5 blessings, the 6 blessings from other people that make you see the greater good in life. You know, you're not looking at the one bad person, you're looking at the 5 good people. You know, stop being fixed on the negativity. Stop being fixed on the naysayers, the people that are telling you can't do anything, the people that aren't doing anything for themselves. You know, if you don't want to be in the position that they're in, don't do what they're doing. You know, if you see somebody talking so much smack and, you know, yelling all throughout the day and you don't want to be like that, don't be around them. You know, same thing with negativity. If there's so much negativity going around, push it out of your head. Why are you going to keep it in your heart if you're trying to receive blessings? You know, there's no way you're going to receive blessings through hate and through fear unless you transform those fears and negativity into blessings. But if you're just fixed on it, it's going to grow. And like they say, misery loves company. So you can either share the misery with people or you can share the blessings with people. But I promise you guys, if you share more blessings with people than you do negativity with people, there's going to be something so powerful to come out of all aspects of your life, guys. The positivity in your life, the positivity in your business, the positivity in your relationships, they are all going to grow, guys. They are all going to go ahead and get better if you actually take the time to stop getting your mind fixed off the negative and focus on the positive. You know, I really want to give a shout out to everybody out there who helped me out through that little moment. You may not think it was a lot, but you know, that's a moment in a lot of people's lives where you actually see that people are truly good. You know, people are truly good and people are capable of doing amazing things, guys. People are capable of doing amazing things. You may not think it's amazing for somebody to pull money out of their own wallet and give it to you, somebody they've really known for like 6 months. But the message behind this, guys, is stop focusing on the negative. You know, believe in yourself. First step, believe in yourself. Tell yourself you can do it. Tell yourself that you're going to switch all of your negativities into positive outlooks in life. And two, take that all and put it into action. You know, it's going to be hard, of course, but when something bad happens, be like, shit, okay, what's the good that's going to come out of it? It's going to be hard to find it, but once you find it, it's going to make it so much easier to get through life, you know? So you just got to take that next step. You just got to believe, guys, take that next step and follow through with it. Step one, believe in yourself. Step two, take action. And later on throughout the week, like I said, those two are going to go ahead and get dropped down and broken down into more plans of how we can fix that. But right now, I really want you guys to focus on believing yourself. That's one. Believing yourself, believing that there's greater things out there, believing that there's so many things that you're capable of, as long as you keep working towards it. And step two, keep working towards it. You know, let's take that step, guys. Let's take that jump. Let's help that parachute open. You know, the only way the parachute's gonna open is if you jump. So let's all take that jump. You know, let's get that fear out of our minds and turn that fear into positivity. I'm so glad you guys were a part of this call. These are going to go ahead and be shared on YouTube. So like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate you guys. I can't wait for these calls to grow and get so much better. DJ, I appreciate you and all your inputs, man. If there's anything anybody else wants to share before we go ahead and close this off, go ahead and unmute your mic, and I got open ears for you guys.
Yeah, I think we're good here. That was really good.
All right, so
really good. Awesome.
So we're good for the day, guys. So I hope that was something that you know, opened up your eyes, motivated you to get the day started on a positive note and to actually take action. You know, so thank you for everybody on this call. We're gonna go ahead and end it for tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. Get your family, friends on these next calls, guys. Next Monday, we're going to be spitting out more fire. We're going to be spitting out more fire, and we're going to make things happen. So I'll see you guys next Monday and throughout the week. Okay, guys?